Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your host, Paulette Rees-Denis, here to bring you magic makers from around the globe, people who are creating change, who have small businesses, large businesses, hobbies, but they are creating the life of their dreams. And that, my friends, is what living is all about. So let us know how you like this episode. Please subscribe, and we'll see you there. Thanks for joining. All right. Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle. Visionaries, healers, movers, shakers, people who are creating change in the world, people who are living the life of their dreams, people who are creating the life they desire to live, to create all the goodness, to create magic, to create health and healing for themselves as well as the people they serve. What we all have to bring to the world, we all have something to contribute. And I'm really excited to share the space today with Michelle. Jeovanny is here with me, and she is in New York right now, and I'm in Ohio right now. So we're actually on the same time zone, which is not usual. But anyway, Michelle, happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Paulette. I'm so excited to be with you and jam with you.
Yeah, and
Um,
so for those of you who are new to me, I am your movement motivator and your magic maker, which means I am your lifestyle coach, your consultant, your mentor, your magic maker, to get you to move your body, to get to move your spirit, to get to move your brain. All these things are so important for us to step into our power, our beautiful magic, and the lives we desire to create, especially as we grow older and change. I think that's really important to acknowledge. And so I run a global dance company. I'm a poet. I have published 4 books, working on my 5th book. And I've been running this video podcast for 6 years. And I mean, how many fabulous people have I got to meet through this? It's just amazing. And how many people have I got to share with you, my people, is also amazing. And today we get Michelle here with us. So excited. Michelle, you are also a multi-passionate woman.
yes.
So I just got to meet Michelle just now. So um, you've done a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things. What Tell us, tell us what you're doing.
Yes. So I have been in the work of transformation, spiritual development for it seems like a long time, but it also seems like yesterday. Since 2009, I've been coaching, mentoring people, and really on this journey of growth and evolution, first and foremost for myself. I love and hate labels. I think they can also, uh, put us in a box. And so I move as an alchemist. I am a magic weaver. I facilitate psychedelic retreats that really blend different modalities that have saved and changed my life in so many ways. And so the modalities that I blend are ancestral healing with family constellation, with quantum mysticism, with channeling, and a lot of energetics that really are designed to activate the wealth on all levels for humans that they know they're meant for more, they know they're here for a purpose, and they have this big vision on their hearts.
Mm, wow. So how did this evolve? I mean, you have quite a background of change and transformation.
Yeah, so I came to this country as a homeless. I ran away from Dominican Republic. My mother was in a very extreme violent situation back at home.
Mm,
And I had a gift that at first felt like a curse. I could see spirits and I could see a lot of the spiritual world. And in many ways, my guides raised me and really protected me from a lot of what was going on at home. And so I understood things intellectually because they could break it down for me. But I was also, I had a lot of ancestral patterns to overcome through my adult life. And so I came to New York with nothing, with no
And you
suitcase.
were young, right?
I was young, I was 17, but I looked
Wow.
12. I didn't have I was an American, but I didn't have my passport because my mom confiscated it from me because she knew I was gonna leave. I kept threatening, if you don't leave him, I'm gonna leave. And it ended up becoming a self-prophecy. So my guides at the time when I was a teenager would speak to me, and I was a clear audilant where I could hear things and I could see things. So I was also a clairvoyant, but I didn't understand the capacity of my gifts. I felt like a child that was discovering new toys as we went along. And so they played this song for me in my head, the Frank Sinatra song, If I Could Make It in New York, I Could Make It Anywhere. And I was like, all right, to New York it is.
I
And
love
I
it.
pawned a necklace and I left, and I didn't bring a suitcase, a carry-on, nothing. But I did have a lot of invisible baggage with me because I experienced a lot of trauma at home. I experienced a lot of wounds and that I had to unpack. And so I came to New York. I didn't know about coaching, but I was always the person that friends came to when they were in the jam. I was always the words of wisdom, the counsel, let's go see Michelle. And so in that way, I knew I was strong. I knew I had a gift for resilience, but I didn't understand my capability of my gifts or what they were designed
Sure.
for. And
Mhm.
so I had a big chip on my shoulder. I wanted to prove my worth to my family as a runaway. And I went to college and I landed a job at Wall Street, auditing financial Fortune 500 companies at
Wow,
the New
that's
York
huge.
Mercantile Exchange. Yeah. And so I love numbers. And as a young girl, I wanted to make a big difference. But I thought at my, ripe 20-year-old, I was like, well, if I could do it from within the system, that's how I can make a big difference, right? But after 5 years of working in Wall Street and auditing those firms, I really got, this isn't for me. I craved meaning, I craved impact. And so I let it all go. Again, my guides were like, this is it. This is your opportunity. I remember it like yesterday. One of our bosses sat us down and he said, okay, we're going to go into a meeting one at a time. And there's going to be two doors, door A, door B. Door A means you're leaving now. You're choosing to leave now, and you're going to get a slightly bigger compensation of a severance package. And door B is you're going to leave in 9 months and you'll have a slightly lesser financial package, but you'll have 9 months to figure out your next plan. And my guides were like, door A. And I was the only one from my team that left that very same day. And it initiated something that a lot of people know as the dark night of the soul, the Saturn return. I was 27 and I was just like, what do I do with my life? Um, and it initiated this process of just letting go of everything that I used to numb the pain. And so in that letting go, my gifts activated. And I was invited to a workshop with LifeSpring at the time. And at first, when I was in that workshop, I was blown away. My gifts came online. I could see things. And at first, I felt really, again, like a child that was learning how to use her gifts for the first time. I was frozen by it because I was like, whoa, not only can I see my guides and my ancestors, I can see everyone's in the room. And I can see beings and I can see entities being removed by the workshops that we're going through. And so I remember saying to myself, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Mm,
And no one could get me out of those rooms. I was volunteering. I developed myself as a coach, as a trainer, as a facilitator. I did not want to leave those rooms. But then something happened, which was also divinely orchestrated. My guide said, step left, let it all go. And it was time to really deepen because I had transformation and spirituality separate. I had my mysticism in a closet, and transformation was the work that we were doing in the rooms.
Wait, that's a great title for a book. Mysticism in the Closet. That's awesome. Okay.
So, so long story short, I started developing my own trainings and my own retreats, and I started working with the youth and then with adults, and I really got present to was one and the same. That transformation and coaching wasn't really going to be sustainable if it didn't have a spiritual foundation,
Mhm.
if it didn't have a close, intimate relationship with Creator, with Great Spirit. And so I started to really introduce that into my work again versus it being something that I do for me separate. And it's been a long, wild ride, but it's been an amazing journey of what's possible when you lead with faith and spirit at the center. I got involved with my husband where we've done multiple businesses and real estate and import business. And I feel really blessed because I am multifaceted, very, very much like you, where at first I struggled with it because I didn't know how to marry it all. And now I'm just like, no, it's just me. I love so many different things, and I love the passion of igniting people into their passions and purpose.
Well, and I think too, as we get older, I mean, and we've had a lot more different experiences, life experiences, our wisdom expands. And I love stepping into that place of, I mean, I think you're a little bit younger than me, but I love stepping into that crondom, that sage, that wise woman. Um, because as multi-creatives, we do gather this information, we gather this wisdom and experience, right? Of doing all the things that we love to do. Sometimes it's so hard to create a focus, and sometimes it's just like so beautiful to have this expansive.
Yeah, and it all comes together. There is always an underlying current. What I'm noticing in my journey is that yes, the import business and the coaching business are different, but there's an underlying current of activating wealth on all levels for me, for the people that I get to serve.
So, what do you think is your, I mean, do you feel like you have a main focus or main career, main job,
It's that. It's activating wealth on all levels. And
activating wealth
I
on all levels? Oh, I love that.
yeah.
And what do you think is so hard for people about that?
You know, a lot of times we lose sight of what matters most because we're chasing the thing that we feel will make us become the thing. And so a lot of the 20s for me, I'd say it was trying to learn all the things and do all the things to become a person, to become somebody, right? And then the 30s hits you along and it's like, nope, it's none of that. And then the 40s you realize, oh shit, I was always somebody, right? And then it just kind of comes back full circle. So for me, it's like people can get lost in what matters most because we're chasing something that we think will give us the significance that we've been longing all along. But once we truly get that we are somebody and that we've been somebody unique and special and worthy and super valuable because God doesn't waste space with any of us, then there's like a reclaiming and a realignment that happens when you start to really get present and you start to fully receive everything that you really are blessed with.
Wow. You guys listening to this conversation. It's so good. And so okay, for you personally, I mean, besides the upbringing and the coming to New York and that kind of thing, currently, what's the hustle? I mean, you've got, so this podcast is called The Heart and the Hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're following your heart, but what's hard as you move forward?
The longing of impacting massive amounts of people. When I was a little girl, the vision was always seeing thousands of people. And as we move along the journey, it's the frustration of wanting to be there already, wanting to just sit and share and work with millions of people at the same time. And I know that it can, for the listener that's listening, it's like, whoa, that's a lot. But any dream that we have on our heart can feel like a lot. And it'll give us butterflies and it'll give us tons of frustration along the way as we're becoming that version of ourselves, right? But I feel like it's that frustration of not being there yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, how do you perceive yourself moving forward?
What I'm learning along the way is the surrendering to the commitment.
Mm.
I coined my 40s as this one big ass surrender experiment where I'm surrendering to how good it can really get and also how necessary the challenges are. I had an aversion because I thought in my naiveness that because I had these gifts that life was supposed to be easy.
Ah,
And that was so naive of me. And now I'm like, oh no, no. It's supposed to also have contrasts. It's supposed to have challenges. And in fact, when we have problems, and Tony Robbins says this best, it's a sign of life. It's a sign that we have life,
absolutely. I mean,
right?
you can't always stay up here. It's like you don't know what you have until you hit this. You go down because you got to go up if you go
Yeah.
down. And I mean, that's part of it, right? That's part of the beauty.
Yeah.
That's part of the beauty of living, the part of learning and expansion and um, staying truer to yourself
Yes.
or
Yes.
finding your truth, I should say.
And and I find that another piece of the hustle is like coming out of the closet fully as a channel, as a mystic. It's like marrying all the parts of me, right? That wants to just sit and meditate and channel all day because it just feels like pure bliss.
Mm.
And then there's a part of me that, you know, wants to travel the world with my husband writing books, So there's a dichotomy or a duality that's playing out in my longings, but I know that it's all connected and that I'll have time at the beach with the hubby and I'll have time to channel. But coming out to channel publicly has been a thing of holy shit, this is real now.
And what's been the feedback?
My gosh, the feedback has always been amazing. The people are just like, this is a gift, this is so needed. You know, I often compare myself to Abraham Hicks because she's been doing it for so long. And for so often we've only had the 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 Caucasian folks do it, right? The white American people that are doing it. And I feel like there's a calling for people that look like me, that are Latin, that are brown folks that are also understanding like we're all channels. We're all channels. And so the feedback has been amazing, and yet there's still this apprehension of just pressing the live button. But we're overcoming that this Friday, so I'm excited to be jamming with you about it beforehand.
Right on, right on. Okay, so what is next for you?
Yeah, that really taking my message out into the massive, into the collective. On Friday we're recording myself channeling and really allowing that to finally come out of my retreats, which became the bigger closet. Um, and doing this podcast with my husband, where we're really modeling marriages that have gone through a lot.
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of people that work together, create together, really don't share as much in terms of the behind the scenes of what it takes to create in partnership. And so we're also going to be modeling that and sharing a lot of our stories and what it took really to create this 2.0 marriage.
Oh, I love that so much. I love that. Oh man, that kind of just got me going because my husband and I have been together for 43 years.
God bless. Oh, I love that.
And he moved in on the first date. And we have been creating since day one. We've been on stage together for 43 years.
Wow.
And continue to play together and create together. And uh, it's
So
just
you know firsthand, it's beautiful and it's also tricky.
yes, it can be. It can be. It can be. Although I mean, for the most part, we've been smooth sailing. He's
Amazing.
amazing, and he's amazing. But to have that kind of relationship, whether it's with a partner who's not
Yeah.
a lover, a
Yeah.
partner, co-creator. I love collaboration.
Same. Hmm.
I think there's nothing more powerful than co-creating with someone. I
Yeah.
can come up with a million ideas on my own, right? I'm a manifesting generator, in human design. I'm like,
Yes.
can't stop me. But I want that other relationship to help bring it to fruition.
Yeah.
And, I mean, not everybody's like that. Some people are super independent and super, it's just me. I'm going to do this thing. And some people want the whole massive thing. But that's been my whole journey as a dance creator and creating these tribes around the world of dancers, bringing community together. And I think,
Beautiful.
that's my vision is what's important is to create connection, create community, whether
I
it's
love.
in person or it's online, and not everybody can do that, right? We all have our spaces. We all have our positions in the circle.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I just got off on a tangent there.
No, I love that. I love that because you're right. And a lot of times people never arrive at their position because they're trying to mirror someone else.
Ah,
And that's such a great point that you bring forward. And with my husband, I'm a generator and he's a manifester.
there you
And so
go.
our relationship is like the ultimate manifesting generator, right? We're like super achievers, but we also like our downtime. But I was trying from so many years because of my own stuff. I was trying to create the way he did.
Mm, mm.
And I was trying to sit in his position because I thought that would bring me the results. And in some ways, he was also mirroring me and sitting in my position, trying to create as me. And that created a lot of static in the
Mhm,
relationship and
mhm.
in the partnership as a whole. And so once I really got, and it took me to leave the marriage to really get to that place of like, oh, this is what my energy feels like. Oh, this is how I create. Oh, this is
Ah,
my leadership. Oh, this is my voice. Because he's so animated and he's like larger than life. And I thought I had to be that to be able to create space for me. But it was damaging because we weren't sitting in our positions in the circle, as you
right.
beautifully said. And that's so important for us to get as creators and authors of our life, but also as partners.
Yeah. So good. I just think, and so much of what I do as a coach is help people find their place in the circle
Hmm.
because everybody is needed. Everybody is important. Everybody has a vision, and some people have been shut down from that vision, right? Or they've been blocked or turned off or whatever you want to call it, whatever happened. Um, and oh God, I just love helping people find that creative spark,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether it's, making a meal for somebody or, creating a masterpiece painting or a mural or, dancing, whatever it is. And everything is important. That's the thing. So many people put themselves down because they don't think what they do is important.
Hmm. Yeah. and they're so needed.
Everything is important. Everything from sweeping the floor to, cleaning the toilets to cooking the meals to, you know, singing the song. Everything is part of what makes us so beautiful and so whole.
Exactly.
Inspiration. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you got me going on a tangent, girl.
I love it.
Oh, I just get so excited talking about stuff like this. So, okay. So, what would you like to say as a closing statement for our people?
Yeah. To never stop dreaming.
Mhm.
It's what keeps us young and it's what keeps us intimately connected to spirit. It's how spirit, God, the universe, Buddha, whatever you want to call this power that animates all of life, it's how it speaks to us. It's how it is in intimacy with us. It's through our imagination and our dreams and our desires that God creates through us. And so never stop dreaming and going after your dreams because that's how we honor our privilege of being in these meat suits. You know, this is a privilege as clunky as it can get, as funky as it can be. Being alive in this time is a deep privilege and an honor. And please negate, dismiss, do not subscribe to the fear-based programming that we are fed through the media, through the news, through family, through people that are not activating their full potential. You're always going to have a critic, but it's always like that saying goes, it's always the people that are not doing their work that are looking at yours. And so please go after your dreams. It's the way we honor the privilege of being alive.
Mm, love that. I love that. And stepping into that place means to really deeply listen.
Yeah.
If we quit listening, then we can't hear it. I think that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
So, Michelle,
Ah, this is so good.
thank you for bringing what you are doing to the world. Oh my gosh, to your people, to you know, communities and society, and we just need to hear more of you. I want to see
Mm.
more of you.
Thank you, Paulette. I received that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I look forward to interviewing you and your hubby one day on our podcast. Tell us
Yeah.
what 43 years of wisdom in partnership is about.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Oh my God. I could talk forever. I guess you probably didn't know that, but all right, my friends out in Heart and Hustle Land, thank you for joining us for yet another episode. Michelle Jeovanny is here with us, and what a great conversation. And so, in these brief conversations, we reach so much depth and so much inspiration. And I'm just so thankful and so blessed and so great to have you all here connected with me and to have these beautiful guests like Michelle come and spend time with me and with all of you. So please reach out to her. Of course, you always get her contact information in the blog post and my contact information as well. Join us, subscribe, ask questions, give us your comments, and whatever, wherever you go with this conversation, I'd love to know. I'm sure Michelle would too. It's so good. And again, Michelle, thank you for being here. And
Thank
until
you.
everybody, until we meet again, many blessings. I love you.
Thank you.